Okay, it's March 20th, 11:24 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States. I hope everybody has a good day. Let me get the disclaimer out of the way. This is not financial advice. This is only for you as education. Please do your own research. And we're going to go over million token a little bit and not so much the stock market. We'll take a look at Bitcoin and what my thoughts have been since my last video on the 17th, which was like 3 days ago. Okay, so million token, it's just a small micro cap token, right? There's not a lot of buying and trading right now, so technicals it's hard to do. Plus, we had the pool dried up a couple months ago, I think, and there was some selling pressure there. There was a selling pressure of one whale that had 20,000 tokens at 1.2% of the supply. He recently sold like 6 or 7,000, which brought the price down from $2 to lower than $2. If you were lucky, you could have got it like at $1.80, and then now it's back above $2. It's 204 right now as I'm talking. So I don't want to get too heavy into technicals on a million token. It's just a matter of when the whales are going to step in. So I think if you start seeing Ethereum overtake Bitcoin first, when that happens, and then the altcoins will probably happen after that, like the major altcoins, like the top 10, and then after that the other altcoins. So when you start seeing those in that order, maybe a million token will get a big pump. So million token could still go up, but right now I think it's still Bitcoin dominant season. So you could probably make more Bitcoin money, more money in Bitcoin for the short term, and then when the altcoin season starts, I don't like to cash out Bitcoin and put in alts because in the United States I get hit with a tax, so I don't do that. But if I had some fiat money on the side, then I might put it in some alts. But I've got plenty of million token. I don't think I need to buy any more right now. So, but real quick on Uniswap, if you got $200 and you want to buy it on Ethereum network, you'd get about 96.9 tokens. If you were on the BNB network or PancakeSwap, that 200 tokens would get you a little more at 102.2 tokens. The price there is a little cheaper at 195, where we just saw on Ethereum network it's like at 204. And then on the Polygon network, the liquidity there is very low. So, and the price is already pretty high. So, your $200 will get you only 83.55 tokens. So, check your networks. I think the fees are pretty low on BNB and Polygon, but it also depends how much you have you want to buy. So, if you wanted to buy 2,000 tokens on Ethereum network, that would get you 964 tokens. But again, on the BNB network, where it was good to buy at 200, your 2,000 will only get you like 694 versus 964 on Ethereum. So, big orders, you want to stay on Uniswap. Small orders, you could probably pick up some on, the BNB network or the Polygon network, depending upon what the price is there. So you just got to play around with it. So I just want to bring that attention. And also, I think there was a deleted discussion somewhere, Telegram or Discord, where somebody was saying if you bought like 10,000 million token, it wouldn't move the price. Well, if you wanted to buy 10,000 million tokens at once, which probably wouldn't be a good idea to do, it would be $24,172. But that would raise the price up to $2.41, which is like an 18% increase. So yeah, it will move the price, but if you buy 10,000 tokens, the market's probably going to dump on you pretty fast. So you want to buy maybe 200-300 tokens at a time, and as you buy, people are going to dump on you, but you're not going to spike the price a lot. And as they dump on you, and you want to buy more, then you buy more, and then they'll be out of the market. So I just want to bring that up. Yeah, if you buy 10,000 tokens, you will raise the price of a million token about 18%. But that's if it probably will be short-lived. It'll probably be like a wick because other people will be dumping on you because you bought so much at one time. Okay, my thoughts. To see the stock market, nothing's really changed here. Zooming out, looking at past recessions. This thing looks like it's rolling over, but you never know. The one thing the Fed and the banks have learned in the past is to act quickly. So when we had banks having trouble in the United States on Friday a couple weeks ago, they fixed it by the time Monday came around, the Fed opened up new programs and injected liquidity. And the next weekend, the Fed was telling the bigger banks, you got to help the smaller banks out. But so, if they act quickly, maybe we won't have such a terrible recession of minus 50%. But we have those gaps in the S&P 500 that are, way back down here at, 2,300 or so. Something to keep in mind, Bitcoin, the big news with Bitcoin is, there was that bet. And the bet I'm talking about, everybody's been talking about, every crypto YouTuber's been talking about it. Somebody bet that Bitcoin would hit $1 million in 90 days, and he put up like $2 million worth. Now, obviously, I think this is ridiculous because we've seen in the past that Bitcoin even pumps 40%, it'll roll over. So I don't know. There would have to be a major national banking crisis for that to happen. So I don't think that's going to happen that fast. But, if you create enough excitement in the market and you have leveraged $10,000 at 100x leverage and it goes up 1%, well, then you made $1 million or something like that. So I think there's probably another angle to this where he just probably wants to create some buzz and I think we're now above the 200 weekly moving average. Let me just double check that real quick. Probably thanks to the excitement about the bet. So yeah, that 200 weekly moving averages to this red line, we are above it right now, pretty significantly too. So, we could come back down below it, but I think, that news and the banks, I think it's pretty solid cross above the 200. Maybe we come back and retest it. Maybe we don't. So that's why I'm dollar cost averaging. But I just wanted to throw out my thoughts on the bet. I think the bet is irrelevant. But anyway, so let's see. Now I last made a video on the 17th of this month, and I've been dollar cost averaging as the price has been going up because the price hasn't been going down. So I bought 1, 2, 3, 4 times since then. And, if the price goes up higher, I'll get an alert and I'll put a order in there. But, I try to space them kind of evenly. And so far, dollar cost averaging is working out well. It's above $28,000 Bitcoin. Another thing about this bet, this $1 million bet, when people realize it's not going to pan out and it's gone, if Bitcoin price continues to go parabolic, it'll probably come back down and, retest certain lows. I'm not sure what lows, but we still have that CME gap down here. You see how the price is way up here now. The gap is a 27% drop to fill that CME gap. I'm not saying we're going to fill it, but I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if the market is exuberant, thinking that people are going to FOMO in because of this bet. It kind of reminds me of John McAfee was saying, Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million pretty soon, and got everybody to FOMO in. Got a lot of new investors to FOMO in, and the market, started dumping. So that could happen with this bet. People hear about the bet, they'll FOMO in, get new investors, and then the market will roll over. There's no way Bitcoin's going to be $1 million in 90 days. I would be happy if it will. I'll still be sitting on majority of my Bitcoin, but anyway. So what else is in the news? Let me just go through my Twitter here. Breaking: mid-sized U.S. banks ask FDIC to insure all deposits for 2 years, and I retweeted this thinking, that means the Fed's going to have to expand their balance sheet and the money printer go burr. Peter McCormick had a recent podcast with Caitlin Long, I believe, and she was saying, with the banking system, right now with crypto, money moves, 24 hours, 7 days a week. It doesn't stop. And, with the current banking system, if they have, 10% reserves, or I think post-COVID, the Fed said you don't even have to have any reserves. They're going to have reserves now. Like if they want to adopt some type of crypto, if they want to stay in the game, they want to compete with crypto, they're going to have all their deposits back to 100%. So I think that's what they're saying here. Breaking: mid-sized U.S. banks ask for FDIC to all deposits for 2 years. So that's what happened with the Silicon Valley Bank. The tech companies, they were able to pull their money out real quick, and the banks are not open. They're going to have to probably change a lot of rules of the banking system. Maybe they're going to have it open 24/7 to some degree with the liquidity. Anyway, so I think that's going to have to happen if the banks are going to, if the banks are going to survive. Fed's going to have to back at 100%, and that means they're going to have to increase the balance sheet. There's no way around it unless the Fed just takes over the banks, which was Simon Dixon's theory like over a year ago. He was saying, look, the banks, we're going to just let the banks fail, and the Fed will just, everybody have an account with the Fed, which I could see that happening too. This was a nice chart I saw on Twitter by Willy Woo. You know, generally it's a good time to buy when we're between the orange line and the purple line. It seems to be a good time to buy, and we're now above it, the orange line, and we retested it, and we're going up. So that's a really good sign to me, and more reason why I'm dollar cost averaging. And I thought that was a really good chart. And, you know, Plan B had his chart came out a few days ago. You know, Bitcoin's just doing its thing. You know, it's turned green, and now it's probably going to turn, you know, blue or light blue, then dark blue, and hopefully go up. You know, I think, you know, if we're in the first year going up, you know, 3 years up, 1 year down. So I said it was going to be choppy. And so I think that, you know, when you dollar cost average and you're already in profit because you've been dollar cost averaging as it hit these really, really new lows, it's easier. It becomes easier to just dollar cost average because you're already in profit. Who cares if it rolls over, you know, 10% or whatever? If it rolls over 10%, I'll be able to fill these other pending ones that I was able to dollar cost average before. But yeah. So what if it goes up to, you know, 28,000, 29,000, 30,000? You know, I'll just dollar cost average every time it goes up a certain number of dollars. I'll just buy another, you know, bag of sats. I know there's some YouTubers out there that are still bearish. Like I think Garth, he was asked recently, like, what would change his mind, because he's been bearish since like the beginning of 2022, I believe. And I think he's like looking at, well, if Bitcoin gets above 30,000, which would be, you know, we're $2,000 away from it. I guess we'll be up here. He'll probably will reevaluate, but he's still bearish. I know the guy from Clear Value Tax, he was saying months ago, if not weeks ago, you know, he wasn't going to buy Bitcoin unless it was like $12,000. Maybe he said 13, but I'm pretty sure he said $12,000. So, you know, why would you want to wait for $12,000? I mean, we're already below the green here. I mean, it's just, you know, I was saying it's a generational time to buy, but we'll see. You know, if that might still happen if we have a really big recession driving down the stocks and yeah, crypto with it. But you know, the Fed's injecting more liquidity into the banks, and when there's more liquidity, you know, the Nasdaq does really well. When the money printer goes burr, we know Bitcoin does well. When Bitcoin does well, then the rest of the crypto market usually does pretty well. So I think that's it. There was no new proposals there, right, in Million Token. And so right now I'm still just stacking sats, kind of watching the market. When I get my alerts, you know, I'll pick up a little bag. Million Token, I don't know if we're going to go back below $2. It wouldn't probably take very much to go below $2. I think there was a whale that had 10,000 tokens on BNB network, and they started selling. I saw, you know, if I had a lot of tokens on like the BNB network, Polygon, and I wanted to sell, I would just bridge them over to Uniswap and just sell there. But you know, maybe they've got other reasons. But that person also like sells and buys too. But I don't know if he's going to sell the rest of his, you know, 9,000 plus bag of Million Token on the BNB network. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But that's what I got. If you like the type of content, give me a like, subscribe, comment down below. Please share. And until next time, bye-bye.